A beautiful picture of Diamond Head as we start our Hawaiian vacation. Our plane is making its way down to the Honolulu airport after an 11.5-hour non-stop flight. Let me out of this plane. Yay! Here we are over at the Hilton Hawaiian Village where the North American Bridge Championships will be held. Here we are at Fresco's, ready to order our first meal at the beginning of our trip.
One of the advantages of jet lag is sometimes you're up early enough to see a sunrise. So this is the view off our 9th floor balcony at the Aqua Palms Hotel. And at downtown Honolulu, Diamond Head, and the Hilton. Including the Rainbow Tower.
And some shots of the sunrise and Diamond Head in the background. Able to see some surfing from our window of the, I shouldn't say from our window, but from our balcony at the motel. And here's the beach which we usually walk to from our hotel. Have surfboard will travel, and I guess they get it to the beach any way they can. Motorcycle or trailer. And here is Percy. He and I were out for a walk one morning while John and John were playing bridge. This is what they called a sausage tree, and it only blooms at night. There we are in the lobby of our hotel. As our room on the 9th floor, and we had a very good view. As you can see, that is our view from our balcony. On Friday night, we got to go downtown and watch a nice little Christmas parade. After the parade, we headed back to the Hilton and were able to catch their Friday night fireworks. Now the torches around this are all gas and they are lit every night by this gentleman right here who goes through all the property, which is a quite large property. Eventually runs up the street to light the torches at the rest of the hotel back here before he disappears into the parking lot and puts out his flame. And here we enter Diamond Head State Park, which was quite interesting because to get into this you come through a tunnel and you are actually inside the crater of the volcano. It is about a 1.5 mile walk up, and it's a lot of switchback paths to get up to the top. But of course, once you get up there, the view is fantastic. I do recommend taking water with you. One of the observation spots along the trail on the way up. And there you can see the tunnel coming through the volcano side. It's the visitor center down below. A nice set of steep steps to climb just about at the very top. And here John caught me coming up. Of course, you can't hear me huffing and puffing like a steam horse. And here I am at the top taking a rest.
Here we are at the top of Diamond Head, with downtown Honolulu in the background.
And right above the Our Hotel sign is where we were staying. And at the bottom, they were selling pineapple smoothie and coconut drinks. We are now at Chief's Luau, which was at Wet n Wild Water Park in Honolulu. John is trying to make fire. And this is our host on the bus, Kay, making headbands.
Headbands? Yeah.
You ran out?
No. Say your name again for me, if you will.
Kaena Okalai Kalani. My first name.
And here we are wearing our headbands. They just brought the pig up out of the pit and will be taking it to carve up for our meal. Our buffet line at the luau. And the show is about to start. But before, we have a beautiful sunset off in the distance. Let the party begin.
No, take it off. Everybody's saying, turn around. It's not for me, it's for our families out there, man. And before you start moving, some of you needs to remove and hide the motion. The back part of your shirt is stuck in. Like that. Man, why can't you do it yourself? Is it better if I do it? I know. They're still waiting for my hand. I just can't do this anymore because I don't want to get used to it. Ready, man? Here we go. Shake the hips. Hey. Yeah, you look pretty good yourself. I bet if I slap you, go a lot faster. Come on, family, let's see a loud scream for the band. Okay, it's nice to meet you. Okay, have you tried any of this type of dancing before? No. No. Okay, come with me. Because tonight is the night. Yeah. Everything is going to be all right. I don't care how long it's going to take. I'm going to help you master this dance tonight. So when you go home, you can surprise everybody. I just want you to please trust me. Okay. Okay. Turn around. The other way. That's the right way. I want you to turn so we can start working on your eye contact. When you do the dance, you don't look nowhere else. Keep your eyes straight forward. If you can, just leave your eyes on those eyes at all times. It has nothing to do with relationship. This is for your learning experience. So please keep your eyes there. Keep your hands up. Now bend the knees. And you're going to stay like that for the rest of this. Okay? Don't look for me. I'll be right here. Please pretend that there's an apple hanging on your right hip. Don't look for it. There's nothing. Pretend there's apple. When I say apple, please go ahead and hit the apple to the right with your hips and do it like you got nothing to do with apples. Get ready. Apple. There you go. Back to the... This time, it's a bigger apple. The bigger apple. Ready? Apple. There you go. And the left hip is a big papaya. Ready? Papaya. Apple. Papaya. Apple. Papaya. Apple. Papaya. Apple. Papaya. You must like fruits. Behind you, you got coconuts. Okay? Get ready. Coconuts. It's okay. Sometimes they roll around. Coconuts. Apple. Papaya. Coconuts. What do you think, family? Is it doing a good job? A little bit high. Let's try this one more time. Give your hands up. And let's try this a little bit fast. Just to see if you remember where all your fruits are. Ready? Here we go. Apple, papaya, coconuts. You are adding other fruits. I don't know what they are. Do you know her favorite fruit?
Banana.
I have no idea. How do you say banana in Venezuela?
Cambur.
Camora. Keep your hands up. Get ready. Apple, papaya, coconut, Camora. Sounds like in the islands we call it Camu. Camu. I know which I'm talking to the other guys. Let's see what she likes the most. Now that's what she likes. Everything mixed together. Go ahead and mix the fruits. Mix the salad. A fruit salad. If she likes the way you make the salad, she'll call you forward. Then you slowly move forward. Keep making the salad. Wait a minute. Please stop. Stop. That's all Camora. Yeah. Stop right there. Family, give him a round of applause. Keep your hands up for safety reasons. Bend the knees. We're going to make more salad. The drummers are hungry too. So let's make some more. Ready? Here we go. Apple, papaya, coconut, banana, apple, papaya, coconut. Come on. Everybody clap along. Let's help me make more fruit salad. Soon you're going to be more hungry people. And here they come. And whatever you do, make sure it's your hands up. All right, family, let's hear a loud scream all the way from Venezuela.
arrived at the Dole Plantation just as it was opening, and we were able to catch the first train out, which takes you through the fields. And here we have carambola or starfruit. We have sugarcane, lemons, limes, pomelo, which is on the line of a grapefruit, avocado, and here are some of the pineapple fields. And lots of pineapples. An interesting thing I found out at the pineapple store is that after you cut pineapple, you should dip it into water. Here we have a banana tree with bananas on it. And the train coming in the other direction. Coconut tree. And some coconuts to go with it. Some sugar cane, breadfruit, which I have never heard of before, so I do not know what it is. And of course, cocoa. Starting on Sunday night and going into Tuesday morning, the North Shore was hit with some very big waves, anywhere from 20 to 40 feet tall. This is the beach across from the airfield where we were going to take a glider ride, but couldn't get one quick enough, so we came back other days to do that. But just to show you some of the water, and this isn't even at the worst part of it yet. I was watching that guy in the water, and it was funny. At one point he was standing completely up, water below waist, right about where he was standing there. But he didn't duck down, and a wave came in, and it was now up to his neck. Most of the beaches had yellow tape closing them. Now, to give you an idea, look at the size of the wave, look at the surfer, and look how big that wave is. Of course, you couldn't pay me to go in those waves. Now, I would definitely pay attention to these waves in this area. Keep an eye on those rocks, because we're going to do a picture of Monday, and then we're going to do a picture later, Thursday of the week, to show you a bit of a difference. This was quite awesome to see. I thought. I definitely wouldn't want to be a surfer out in it, and they were actually about the only ones who were left out in it at certain spots. Like I said, pay attention to this spot because this is what it looked like 4 days later, the exact same spot we were just watching. And the water actually will come up to the right of where the two people were standing underneath the rock. So there is an opening right there behind those people. But this is the exact same spot we were in, and never knew this was here because it was all underwater. We now arrive at the Polynesian Culture Center, where they did a nice Hawaiian how the tribes got here and all this stuff show on the lake. Interesting point about this whole thing is this culture center is owned by the Mormons. Now, if you remember the girls with the balls at the luau, John is about to give them competition. And here John is out in the canoe. He and I had just been out in the canoe before that. A visitor on the lanai of our hotel. John is about to start his windsurfing adventure on the Pacific Ocean. The helmet he is wearing has a headset built in so the instructor can be communicating with him while he's out on the water. Sure makes this windsurfing thing look easy, but I have tried it up at the lake, and the best I can do is get the sail up and then I'm back in the water. So I decided I wasn't about to rent a wind sail for 2 hours to just be getting up on the board and going back in the water. And now a guy is about to go out there and do some kite surfing. Now, maybe I could do this better because the kite would keep me up and definitely isn't pulling me up off the board. I have enough weight to keep me down. And here we have set up the drone to keep an eye on John, which gives us a nice perspective from a different view. I don't know, the water looks so calm you would think he's surfing on a lake. And here we catch John doing a very nice turnaround and heading back the other way. Perfectly executed. Well, maybe not perfect. Stated the helmet had a headset, so the instructor just told John that the drone is up, and as you saw, he waved to us. My Johnny lies over the ocean. My Johnny lies over the sea. My Johnny lies over the ocean. Oh, bring back my John to me. I didn't keep the drone up as much as I would have liked to and get as close as I would have liked to. We were having at least 20-mile-per-hour winds, and the drone's not very happy in those kind of winds and keeps telling me to bring it home. So I didn't fly it out that much, but I did do a little bit of the, here I'm trying to get out of the trees that I wound up in by accident, and I do a nice 360, and I'm going to actually slow it down, and it's going to be a little jerky in this film because otherwise the scenery would go by so fast it would probably make half of you dizzy. So enjoy the view of the island. Okay, now I got to go back to scanning the ocean to see if I can find John. Don't see him. Up, there he is. Okay, he's still up. Don't have to worry. And the reason right now, while I'm not tracking John, is because the drone is in landing mode and is starting to come down. And now we're going to do one of the most interesting things and go in a submarine. And if you look at that flat surface about the middle of the screen, that was air bubbles, so we know where the submarine is. And now it is coming up from the depths. It will be met by the pilot boat, and the crew will get on, and then we will swing around to the other side, and they will tie us to the submarine. The people that are in it will get off, and then we will get on the submarine and we will do our dive of about 50 minutes. There you can see the pontoon boat heading out to the submarine with the crew on it that will help tie the submarine and the boat together. And we are now down inside the submarine. As you can see, we have nice big portholes to look out for the fish. They also drop a bunch of things that they sink into the ocean to make artificial reefs to keep the fish there. As you notice, we are at 84 feet now. Another artificial reef being created. Otherwise, there would be nothing. And we are now down at 112 feet, which I do believe was the deepest we went. Here's an airplane that was sunk to create an artificial reef. And one of the boats. I believe they have 3 boats. One was actually a Japanese boat that a lot of things happened to and nobody wanted to have it. And they bought it, I believe, for like $1. And then they sank it to create the reef. There we have a turtle. And we have some barracuda checking us out. Another one of the ships. An inside view of the submarine. There were only 17 of us on it, so we all sat on one side. And that way they made a couple passes of the various reefs.
Thank you, you guys.
How was it?
Very good. Really fun, actually. That was great. That was great. Welcome back.
And of course we are back on board of the ship and the submarine is being secured. The crew is getting onto the pontoon boat to go back to the pilot boat. And then the submarine will be off on another venture with another group of people. We also decided to go out that evening for a sunset cruise and dinner. Seeing the sunset on the water was nice. The cruise was nothing to talk home about. There you see the submarine being pulled back into its evening dock. Now it's time for some insanity in my life. John talked me into doing a glider flight, and we actually were both going to do it that day, and I got to go up first. Most of the noise that you are hearing is from the air coming in through the vents to try to keep us a little on the cool side. Otherwise, we would have been in an oven because it was some 80 degrees outside, sunny, and with no air coming in, it would have been unbearable in that glider. Right here, I'm going to speed things up a little so it's not as slow as a flight and I don't put my audience to sleep. You're going to see the tow plane go off to the left, and we're going to go off to the right, and that is where we released the cable and started flying on our own. And right there we released. And we are now gliding down back to sanity. Although, as we were making the flight up, there was one spot we hit some turbulence, and I whacked my head on the canopy of the plane. And with wearing a hat, the little button that was in there did put a nice little scratch into my forehead, which I found out later when I felt the scab. And now we're making the turn in and starting to descend, and we are going to land on the runway momentarily. All in all, it was a fun flight, except for bumping my head. After our flight, John and I went to a nice little beach, and these are all the pictures I am allowed to post on it. And then I had a free day, so I headed off to the Honolulu Zoo while John and John played bridge. It's a nice little zoo in Honolulu. Nice variety of animals. Unlike the Philadelphia Zoo, this zoo has one of my favorite animals. And I spent quite a bit of time watching them. And anyone who knows me knows what that animal is. There are some exotic animals like snakes and that which have been gotten by illegal means because people try to bring these into the country and they take them away, and you can be fined $300,000 and 3 years in prison for bringing any kind of thing like that into Hawaii. Right after this rhino shot, there's going to be a shot of a stone wall with my favorite animal in it. Can anybody find it? That's right, it's an elephant, and I spent quite a bit of time watching them and actually got to see them feed them, as you will see here.
Welcome everybody. I'd like to introduce you to Mari, to the right. She's 43. Wow. She's a bi guy. She's 32. She'll actually be 33 on Christmas.
Nice.
A little bit about them. They're Asian elephants. They're both from India. They came here from about 30 years ago, over 30 years ago. Their diet consists of mostly what you guys see. They give us produce, apples, bananas, mostly Timothy hay, and we give them a lot of fresh cut browns. Some fun things Mari and Bi Guy likes to do is they like to go into the swimming pool when they're hot, especially during the summertime. They're basically eating machines, so they eat about 150 pounds of food per day per elephant. And we don't measure how much they drink, but it's been said about like 40 gallons of water per day.
Hi, buddy.
You guys have any questions for me?
I like that they know they can each have their own.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did they install cameras?
Yes, we did. We just recently put that in. It's not currently working at the moment, but it's just to monitor kindergarten side, college side. Yeah, I'm sure they'll probably post it on the website.
After the zoo, I took a nice little walk back to our motel, and this is Waikiki Beach. It was not quite 2-mile walk, I guess. On Sunday, we did a dolphin and snorkeling adventure. And here we are about to get ready onto the boat. It was a 60-foot catamaran. And it was a nice trip. And yes, I did get to pilot the boat. And so did John. I eventually let him do it. But I enjoy driving boats. And here you see John. And of course we spotted some dolphin. And got to sit and watch them for a while. And they very playful, swimming around the boat. And there is a sea turtle. And of course the blowhole of a whale. This picture I didn't take, but this one I did, as well as the next two. So it was exciting to see the whale and the dolphins. And now we go into our snorkeling part of the trip. And John is filming this turtle with his underwater video camera. And you're supposed to stay 15 feet away from them. Of course, I don't know what happens when they come towards you. Somehow I think this turtle is going to stay under a lot longer than John's going to stay under. And now it's John's turn for his flight, and of course he's going to do an acrobatic flight, so he needs a parachute. I didn't need the parachute. He's also going to be in a different type of glider, and he gets to sit in the front, or I got to sit behind the pilot. And away he goes. Yes, John's flight did rolls and loops and all kinds of interesting things. So yes, this is not me flipping the picture a different way. This is me taking it all the same way. He's now flying upside down. This is the end of his flight as I'm taking the pictures, so he will be landing shortly. And the next clip you are going to see is John's flight from him taking pictures inside the glider.
Yeah, we got our trade winds back. Everything's more normal now. Last week was really sketchy. Let's get a couple turns, making sure the coast is clear. Ceiling 30 is not a factor, but I'd like it to be a little further out first. Way down there, though, no problem. All right, John, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, gotta keep your elbows in, and yeah, that's all. All right, here we go.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there's the water.
Oh, so nice. Beautiful. And you get paid to do this.
Not a lot. Yeah, I do.
Oh my goodness. Just that quiet pause.
Yeah. No gravity. That concludes the acrobatic portion of our flight.
All right.
Very fun.
Very fun.
I'm fully awake.